As Taliban take over Afghanistan on August 15th, followed by aftermath of people leaving the country on plane blades, everyone want to know about Afghanistan war, role of USA, plight of people living there, and also Taliban. So here Read and Review brings you the book to read on Afghanistan war. Directorate S. Steve Call, a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, reconstructs America's longest war with all its strategic advances and blunders and disclosing how partnership between a great power USA and its allies work at time of crisis. The book opens with the assassination of Ahmad Shah Massoud, the legendary commander of the anti-Taliban Northern Alliance, 2 days prior to the 9/11 attack, and then take the reader into the complex world of war, intelligence battle, political infighting, insurgency, and counter-insurgency operation. The narrative runs from 2001 to 2016, telling the whole story of the US war in Afghanistan as well as America's fraught relationship with the Pakistan ISI. The title of the book refers to the ISI's notorious S-wing, the directorate of the agency responsible for managing Pakistan's relationship with militant Islamist proxies. The Favored Daughter. The 19th daughter of a local village leader in rural Afghanistan, Fauzia Kufi, was left to die in the sun after birth by her mother. But she survived, and perseverance in the face of extreme hardship has defined her life. Despite the abuse of her family, the exploitive Russian and Taliban regimes, the murder of her father, brother, and husband, and numerous attempts on her life, she rose to become the first Afghani woman parliament speaker. Here, she shares her amazing story, punctuated by a series of poignant letters she wrote to her two daughters before each political trip. Letters describing the future and freedoms she dreamed of for them and for all the women of Afghanistan. Her story movingly captures the political and cultural movement in Afghanistan, a country caught between the hope of progress and bitter truth of history. The American War in Afghanistan, a history. In the American War in Afghanistan, Carter Malkasian provides the first comprehensive history of the entire conflict. Malkasian is a leading academic authority on the subject, having spent nearly 2 years working in the Afghanistan. Drawing from a deep well of local knowledge, understanding of Pashto, and review of primary source documents, Malkasian moves through the war's multiple phases. The 2001 invasion and after, the light American footprint during the 2003 Iraq invasion, the resurgence of the Taliban in 2006, the Obama era surge, and the various resets in strategy, and force allocations that occurred from 2011 onward end up in the 2018-2020 peace talks. The American war in Afghanistan explains why the war had such a disappointing outcome. The American war in Afghanistan provides a truly vivid portrait of the conflict in all of its phases that will remain the authoritative account for years. Taliban, Militant Islam, Oil and Fundamentalism in Central Asia. Writer and correspondent Ahmad Rashid brings the shadowy world of the Taliban into sharp focus in this enormously interesting and revealing book. It is the only authoritative account of the Taliban and modern day Afghanistan available to English language readers. Based on his experience covering the civil war in Afghanistan for 20 years, traveling and living with the Taliban, and interviewing most of the Taliban leaders since their emergence to the power in 1994. Rashid offers unparalleled first-hand information. He explains how the growth of Taliban power has already created severe instability in Russia, Iran, Pakistan, and five Central Asian republics. He describes the Taliban's role as a major player in new great game, a competition among Western countries and companies to build oil and gas pipelines from Central Asia to Western and Asian markets. No Good Men Among the Living. In breathtaking chronicle, acclaimed journalist Anand Gopal traces the lives of three Afghans caught in America's war on terror. He follows a Taliban commander who rises from scrawny teenager to leading insurgent, a US-backed warlord who uses the American military to gain wealth and power, and a village housewife trapped between the two sides, who discovers the devastating cost of neutrality. Through their dramatic stories emerges a stunning tale of how the United States had triumphed in Afghanistan and then brought the Taliban back from the dead. Anand Gopal's No Good Men Among the Living stunningly lays bare the workings of America's longest war and the truth behind its prolonged agony. So that was the video, guys. Do like, share, and subscribe.